my effort to these two recipes that I'm going to share right now is that one, sorry, it should be able to please multiple age groups, and second, it should be easy enough so that if you need to make it quickly just from some basic things that you have in your fridge or your pantry, you should be able to whip it up without any problem. So I didn't plan it like this, but it so happens that both the recipes are involving corn. These are corn kernels that you get in the supermarket for like itna bada bag for $2 or something. So this is, we're going to make some masala popcorn, and we are going to make broccoli, corn and cheese wontons. Okay, so one thing we are going to make is going to be in the air fryer, or you can also deep fry it. And the other thing that we're going to make is going to be on this pot, right? So anything that has a lid you can use for making popcorn. This popcorn is made at home, so obviously there are no preservatives, there are no chemicals, there is no question of trying to increase the shelf life by adding anything. So warm welcome to everybody that's tuning in right now. I'm going to start both recipes right away. Without any further ado, this pan we're going to create the filling for our corn and broccoli bites. And in this one, I am going to pop some popcorn. So this is the process that's going to take the longer time. Plus, I have to allow the filling to cool before I start filling it into the wonton shells. So I'm going to get this process started now. And then in the meantime.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm just going to say good morning to some of our friends.
Sure, please. Go ahead.
Umesh ji, Dolly ji, Dolly Kapani is here. Gautam Chopra. Okay, Gautam, you're going to learn something today.
Gautam is always there for all the food-related videos. I've seen that. He has a very good attendance when it comes to food-related videos.
Rekha Bandari ji is here. Welcome ji.
Welcome to all of you that are tuning in. I hope this is, if this is your first time, don't let it be your last. Because we definitely thrive on your support and patronage. Share this page with your friends so that they'll also be able to make these quick appetizers for the holidays. I can guarantee you, if you have people of different age groups in the same room and you serve this, everybody will eat these appetizers. I'm doing the vegetarian version, but hey, you know what? If you want to add chicken to this...
Rupert, can you make it horizontal so we can see it a bit more? Can you do that?
I think I can. Just tell me this way. Like this?
No, it's narrow, but the other way, let's see.
I turned it horizontal, but I'm going to have to...
It's not coming full face. Like
no, because this is like this. So then you won't be able to see both of the items if I...
I see. Okay, I can only see narrow.
It's like this.
Yeah. Okay, now we can see that. So welcome everybody. So please get ready to learn few new things. Abhi holidays ka bhi aana hai, plus this you can learn anytime. This is vegetarian, yes, vegetarian.
Okay, so here. I've just added some oil to this pan. I've added some grated fresh garlic and some onions. We're not trying to caramelize the onions. We're going to keep these flavors very basic. And a lot of the flavor in this broccoli cheese corn bites is going to come from the quality of the cheese that you use. So you can use a smoked cheese, you can use smoked Gouda, you can use a pepper jack cheese, you can use mozzarella if you want to keep it fairly bland. You can use, there's so many different cheeses in the world that you can use pretty much anything that you love, okay? So while that's going on, I'm going to start on this. This is again, you can do it in a pot, you can do it in a saucepan, you can do it in a skillet. Just add a little bit of butter. This butter is unsalted. You can use salted. I prefer salted. I just don't have salted in my home, so I'm using unsalted. A little bit of butter and a little bit of oil. The reason why we add both is that the oil prevents the butter from burning. Just rotate it in your pan and get this to be super duper high. Okay, it has to be very hot when you pop in the kernels. I'm just going to give this a quick saute. Here I have some broccoli that I've chopped really fine. Now remember, it's going to go into the pocket, so you want to make it very fine. You can also grate it if you want. Okay, I think I should have grated it. It would have given me a better texture, but I'm going to have to cook it down, okay? So, Lashan Music, welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. I appreciate each of you that spend their morning with us. It's so lovely to have you all on board. Okay, I'm just going to saute this. And then into this is going to go some frozen corn kernels. You can also use a can of kernels, but just make sure you drain the liquid. So broccoli and corn going in. Even in terms of seasoning, I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to use a taco seasoning pack that you get for 60 cents in any supermarket. I'm going to use this for both recipes. So it's really a no-brainer. You don't have to think, oh my God, what am I going to do? If I have this, I'm going to be left over with this seasoning. Not to worry. You don't have to add salt or anything. You're just going to keep sauteing this. If you don't have onions, you can use spring onions. You can use leeks. You can skip the onions and use onion powder. Just make it your own. If you want to put carrots, you can put carrots. Whatever your family eats, just stick to that, okay? So the heat is now medium. We're just going to continue to saute. I'm going to add some crushed red peppers at some point. If I can ever find things in my house, that would be nice. I'll keep an eye out for it. If I find it, I'll put it in there. If I don't find it, hey, you know what? No one's going to know. I am going to add a little bit of black pepper to this because black pepper in appetizers tastes really good. Just a little hint. You can also do freshly ground. We don't need to add any extra salt because the taco seasoning is quite salty, and also the cheese is going to be very salty, okay? So don't add too much salt to your filling. It's really going to kill the taste of everything. This is done. This is nice and hot now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some kernels to this. This popcorn is tastier than the popcorn that you make in the microwave. There are fewer wasted kernels, and also you're not getting the radiation from the microwave. There are no preservatives, nothing, just good old. And now you're going to turn the heat to full. This popcorn recipe has more than 57,000 likes on my TikTok page. So I guess a lot of people are making it in their homes. And I would urge you to also give it a try when you can. Okay, now back to this. I just have to keep an eye on this. When you put the kernels in, it's going to take a few minutes before the action actually starts. So just keep an eye on it and keep giving it a shake from time to time. Okay. You can see the kernels are sizzling around in the butter. They haven't started popping yet. But once it starts, it's a very quick process. In the meantime, this is sauteing and it's developing the flavor. You don't want to move it around too much. You want it to develop the charred flavor. Okay, I am going to take it off the heat and put it in the refrigerator really quickly so that it will have the time to cool. Otherwise, we won't be able to do the filling for our broccoli bites. What I'm going to use to fill the broccoli bites is these wonton sheets that you get in the Asian grocery store. They're very easy to find. They come like this. They're little sheets. Okay. And I'll show you a couple of different ways of how we can make different shapes on this. Okay. So now this popcorn action is starting to happen. You just need to give it a good shake from time to time. Yep, it should be happening fairly soon. So we'll stay tuned to that. A lot of people actually also make it in salt instead of making it in oil, and that's fine too. They put a huge mound of salt. If you've eaten popcorn on the streets of India, they actually saute it in salt, and we think it's sand, but it's not actually sand. It's pink salt in which they keep sauteing the kernels to make them pop, right? Yeah, that's pink salt, Himalayan salt. So this recipe is, I'm telling you, 57,000 views on my TikTok page. So I figured, hey, people love popcorn, obviously. So let me make a quick popcorn recipe. At the end of the recipe, I'll show you very few kernels are actually left unpopped. So it's quite an efficient way of using your corn kernels from the supermarket. It just refuses to pop today. I don't know what's going on. It's burning, but now I can smell it, so it should be fairly soon. Yep, I can see one little guy popping already. So you'll smell the toasted kind of a, okay, there you go. I'll bring you close to the process. You can see how it's popping. Just keep shaking the thing. You see the little white, little puffy things that are popping up? There.
Yeah.
So just keep shaking it at this point. Bring the heat to medium and give it a good shake. It's going to keep on happening. I'm just going to take this, spread it out on a wide pan and put it in the fridge really quickly so it'll cool. That way we can use it. Okay, don't remove the lid, okay? Otherwise these things are just going to scatter all over your countertop. Bring this closer to you guys. You hear it?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, you see the popcorn. And I don't want to open the lid because it's going to fly away, but look. Right? So just keep... You can see that it's all changing from that to this, right? Hey Karishma, hey Shimona, all the people that are tuning in from my Facebook page, welcome, welcome. Happy holidays to each and every one of you. I hope these holidays bring you much joy and cheer and give you enough time to spend with your families. That's my prayer for everybody. I'm just going to give it a quick saute. Right? And then switch the burner so that you could see better, but I think it was better off here only. Okay, so very quickly, this whole thing is going to be filled. Now for the dipping sauce that we're going to make with the broccoli bites. I don't know if you've seen my earlier videos, but every season I do make a cranberry chutney video. It's just cranberries that I boil down with water and a little bit of sugar and some salt. And then I add fresh ginger and citrus. You see that, how fast it's going?
Yes.
And because we had added butter in the beginning, it's already going to have a buttery taste. Look at that. It's like a riot in there, like, you know, firecrackers. It's going off.
Ashali's popcorn, she's just do the popping the popcorn, and then she's going to be making, she's also making broccoli with cheese. And then these are appetizers.
Yes.
Popcorn is
Okay, so when it becomes very quiet in there, then you know that all of them have popped, and then you can turn the stove off. Just give it a final shake. Don't remove the lid yet. So that if there are any unpopped kernels, they will pop now. That's it. This is done. Okay. And to this, you can, while it's still hot, you have to go ahead and add the same taco seasoning that you used for your broccoli bites. Add a little bit of that for a Mexican flair. If you want to add melted chocolate, you can add melted chocolate. Make chocolate popcorn. If you want to add caramel, you can add caramel to make caramelized popcorn. So this is going to sit right here. It's all done. Now for the dipping sauce for our broccoli bites. Like I said, I always do a cranberry chutney every season. This is fresh cranberries. I boil them with sugar, salt, fresh grated ginger, and then it almost becomes like a jam consistency, and then I use my immersion blender to blend it out to be smooth. So for this, I'm going to take just a little bit of this. I'm going to add some water to this. It's a very nice festive color for your appetizer table, so I always like to have some cranberry sauce or cranberry
very good
chutney dipping. And then in order to adjust the consistency of this, you're going to add, you can add honey, you can add maple syrup, whatever you have, you can add that.
What about some citrus? You said citrus?
Yes, it already has fresh orange juice. After you remove it from the stove, just add an entire orange squeezed into it for that fresh tangy taste. It really cuts through, and especially when you have appetizers that have cheese or meat or lamb, you want to do a very acidic kind of dipping sauce to cut through all the greasiness of that food. Even if it's a fried appetizer, if you have like a tangy, acidic dip, then it really, really helps. You can make this into something that's similar to the hot honey version, which is really popular right now. You can do that by adding either Tabasco sauce, hot sauce, or sriracha. Whatever you have at home, you can actually give it that honey
I
chili,
see.
yeah, hot honey, you know, that kind of a vibe. It's very, very popular right now. It's trending in almost, or you can add like a store-bought peri-peri sauce and give it that hot
Tangy food,
twist.
yeah.
Yeah, you can, depending on how much heat your family loves. If you have small kids, you can add sriracha. If you have small kids, you can skip this step and just keep it on the sweeter side. You might want to add a little hint of ketchup or vinegar just to give it that tang. But hot honey is where it's at. That's where the party is. You can add cayenne pepper. You can add crushed red pepper. Whatever you have, just make it your own depending on what your family likes. Okay? There you
So
go.
you can basically make it the way like personally
Yes,
want
you
it.
have to, you know your family's taste. If there's too many young children or there are seniors who don't like spicy stuff, then don't make it spicy. Then just leave it at that. And this is, you can see the skins of the cranberry. It's from fresh cranberries. There is no preservative in it.
Right.
And I made this 2 weeks ago and I put it in the fridge and it's still good.
Yeah, I know. Thanksgiving we had so much, cranberries the kids bought fresh. I didn't know what to do with it. If I had known about this recipe.
So now this is still lacking in sugar. I think it needs a little bit of sugar. I didn't make it super hot, but the heat from the sriracha definitely comes through. I'm going to add a little more sugar and just a pinch of salt.
Is there any substitute, like if you don't want to put sugar, can you put some...
You can put agave, you can put honey, you can put monk fruit sweetener, you can put stevia, you can put sweet and low, whatever you have.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can just make it without sugar. So just put a little more of the what you call citrus or the orange juice. So that will bring the sweetness. You don't even need the agave or the monk fruit sweetener. Right? So you can do it. Yeah. So there's always ways to work around it so that it'll suit you and your family. Make it suit your dietary needs. Make it suit your palate. Because I'm going to transfer this onto here.
You can always play around and see what suits you.
Yes, absolutely.
And, and make
You
it
don't
the way-
have to put sugar, but because they're so tart, I feel like they need to be balanced out by sugar. You can put dates. When you boil the cranberries, you can put dates and raisins. Then you don't have to put sugar, you know.
That's a very good idea because dates and cranberries are the similar type. You can just boil them and
Yes,
together.
you can put grapes, you can put cranberries, dates. You can also put an apple or put a can of applesauce. So you'll have that sweetness going, you know. Then you don't have to use any white sugar, brown sugar. You don't need to use any of that. If you want to use molasses, you can use that. If you want to use jaggery, you can use that. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to make it your own. All right. So instead of putting it in the air fryer, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fry them to show you instantly what it looks like. Then that way we don't have to wait 7 or 8 minutes for the air fryer to do its trick. I'm going to put this oil to heat. Whatever I'm showing you, you can absolutely do it in the air fryer without a problem. I'm going to take out the filling from the refrigerator and show you how to fold.
Right. Okay, fold it in
How to do the shapes. Just bear with me. You're going to need a fork, a pastry brush, and a bowl of water. It's not rocket science. It's just really simple. A bowl, a fork, and a pastry brush. If you don't have a pastry brush, you can just use a spoon or whatever. Let me know if everything is visible to you guys. If there's any problem where you can't see the camera angles, let me know, please.
Yeah, only thing is very narrow because it's not a full page. It's very just in the middle, you know.
Do you want me to turn it horizontal? I can try.
Try. Let's see if it comes with like a full page, like a full thing, like the way my picture is showing. If you can, I think you could turn the angle. Maybe you can do that. Maybe the वैसे ही आ रहा है जैसे पहले था. It's not coming as a full page.
I don't know.
Now we can't.
Well, if you put me in the spotlight, then it'll come. Otherwise, it won't come.
Oh, let me see.
Yep,
Let me go.
that's the trick. Okay, so I hope everybody's with me so far. We are going to use our good old wonton sheets to make these bites. Okay, we've just created this filling. Now, there are two things that you can do in terms of cheese. You can actually use something like a cheese whiz, which is a liquid cheese. You can use something like this, right? This will instantly cool your mixture because this is obviously at room temperature. You don't have to cook it and it's always gooey. So you can use something like this. It's called cheese whiz or cheese dip. Or then you can go ahead and use pepper jack cheese, which is a great flavor of its own. I like a combination of both. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Let me just quickly get this going. Just make little small. You can also get grated Mexican cheese, 3 cheese blend. You get so many pre-grated cheeses. You can use those. That's fine. The broccoli, the cheese, and the corn together is just a really, really fun and yummy combination. Okay. There we go. So the oil is actually hot. I'm going to turn this down.
This is ginger, right?
Cheese.
Oh, cheese, just cheese.
Pepper jack cheese. I've just taken the slices and I've chopped it. Huh?
Just recap what the ingredients are. Some people came late.
Okay, so you're going to heat some oil in a pan, add fresh garlic and some onions, and you're going to saute the onions, not to caramelize them. Once they are sauteed, you're going to add shredded broccoli and some frozen corn kernels. And then sauteed. I've added just the taco seasoning blend for seasoning. That's all I've added. If you want to make these ahead and freeze them, then don't add any onions and don't add any cilantro. If you're going to serve them right away, then you can add the cilantro, you can add the onions, whatever you want, okay? So that's the trick. If you're freezing anything at all, whether it's kebabs, whether it's spring rolls, don't add onions, just add onion powder instead. And then here's, yeah. So those things don't freeze properly and they mess up the taste and the texture of it. And then when you try to refry them, then moisture gets released, which is not cool. So if you're trying to freeze them for later use, then don't add onions, just add onion powder. And if you're going to serve them right away, then yeah, by all means, add fresh onions and this and that, whatever you want. Go ahead and add that. Okay, so I'm going to serve them right away, so I'm going to add some cilantro. I'm going to add some onions, all of the good stuff.
Somebody's going to come over? You're going to serve?
You are coming over. After every food demonstration, you should come over so I can serve you.
Good, I should.
Okay? Because I do the taste test on camera and I feel really bad that all the people watching this cannot eat it.
Because it looks really...
Maybe one day we'll just do like a live session where people can actually taste the food demonstrations, correct? Okay, now if you want, you can add a little bit of this. It will make it a little messy, so be careful. Don't add it to the actual mixture. Now you're going to check this for seasoning, okay? It should not be too salty. And it should not be... Huh?
Fresh broccoli, fresh, sorry, fresh.
Yes, everything is fresh. This is from a farm box that I get every Friday. So the broccoli is from the farm. I'm going to add a little extra hint of taco seasoning because I feel like it's missing that punch of cumin. Right? So I'm going to add that. If you want to add a little lemon juice, you can. I don't think it needs anything at all. It's really pretty good. Okay, so now here's the filling. It's not 100% cool, but it's still pretty good from what it used to be. I'm going to set this aside and I'll show you how we fold these sheets. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do it. The first one is really simple. You're just going to take one sheet, you'll dip your hand in water and you're just going to put water on the 4 corners, correct? Then you're going to take your spoon. So it's a little bit of a labor of love, kind of like filling up samosas, but it's still fun. And if you have small kids, you know, with their small hands, they can all contribute and make their own little things, right? And then you're going to fold it onto itself. So now if you have grated broccoli, it makes this process very easy because it's very, very fine. My broccoli is a little chunky, so it's going to give me a little problem, but that's okay. Okay, so just press the edges and then go in with a fork. Dip the fork in water and just crimp the edges with this fork. You know, like how you crimp for pies?
Right.
Just crimp it. Just press it down. It'll do it.
Oh, that makes
Press
sense.
it down. That's it. Right? There you go. So you can deep fry this, you can steam this, you can air fry this, you can bake this, whatever you want to do, you can do.
Oh, now it came full page. Very good.
How?
Check myself. So here you have this squares.
Wonton wrappers. Mm-hmm.
Ready-made like that?
Yeah, you get it in the Asian supermarket. It comes in a little packet.
Oh, it's gone back to original.
Yeah. So now I've taken one sheet and I've kept it here. I'm gonna do the filling. Keep everything towards the center. And here you can try to see if you want to try this, you can. Put a little dollop of cheese right in the middle.
Yeah.
So then it's not messy because it's very much targeted to wherever you're putting it, right? It's not a part of this. If you put it, then it's going to be sticky and it's too complicated. So once you have that, you take your other sheet, you wet that. And you put it right in there. And then you crimp it on all sides.
Okay.
Right? You can do it like this. The idea is that the filling should not escape from the inside of the wonton. So that's pretty much the idea. So you're just basically using... Some people actually even make a slurry of cornstarch and water or regular flour and water to paste the sheets together. And that's fine too.
Can you make this like a small samosa with this too or not?
It's too small for a samosa. Like you see, because after this, like where are you gonna fold it, you know? So samosas actually need to be cut from rounds. It's very hard to get the samosa shape from a square.
That's true.
Right? So you need rounds. So this is the best one. You can do it like this. You can do it like this. You don't need to do an egg wash. And then another one that you can do is you can actually just make a potli. So again, just use your hand or a pastry brush. Put in the filling.
Do the way, whatever you want it.
Yeah, whatever. If you don't have a pastry brush, you can still make this, right? And then just gather it up like this. You know, like you do for aloo ka paratha. Just gather up everything and make it into a little bite. You go to Trader Joe's and you buy those pre-frozen snacks. For $7, you get like 7 of these. So you can make, you know, for $7, how many can you make of these?
Kamlesh is saying that she does the same thing with aloo and she makes samosas, but
Yeah.
pastry.
Yeah, those are a little bit bigger. Correct.
Not good.
See, so these are a couple of the shapes that you can make. Let me make 1 or 2 more of these. I'll do the triangle one, which is the easiest. And the oil is nice and hot, so I don't want to keep that waiting for too long. I'm going to add this right over here.
Has a tangy flavor, right? You said because you put the taco seasoning in it.
It has Mexican flavor,
Yeah.
not candy.
No, not candy. Tangy. Not tangy.
Tangy, yes, tangy. Tangy and cumin. So the garlic, cumin, and lime are pretty much the notes in taco seasoning, right? So if you put taco seasoning, you're going to get a very Tex-Mex kind of a feel. You can actually serve this with a guacamole or a salsa even. You don't even need to make the cranberry dipping sauce. Okay, so here we have a couple of shapes that we've...
That's a good idea, yeah.
Right? So just serve it with salsa, that's fine. Alrighty, now we are ready to fry this. Let me get my spider. You know why? Because I had a call coming in and maybe that's why the shape was different back then.
No. I'm talking about the view.
Yeah, I had a call coming in at that time.
I see.
So there you go. You just drop it very gently. And it fries in almost no time. You can bake it, you can fry it, you can steam it, whatever your family likes, whatever your calorie choices are, just do it based on that. Okay. And then just baste it a little bit. I'm pan frying this, but you can deep fry it, you can serve it with chili oil, you can serve it with whatever your family likes. Gonna fry it till it's nice and brown. It crisps up very quickly because it's only one sheet, so it doesn't take too long to crisp up.
And you said that you can also do it in the air fryer too.
Yes, you can air fry this. You'll do it for 370 at 375 for 6 minutes for the air fryer. Every air fryer is different, so you might want to test a batch and see what is the ideal temperature. But like I said, if you're going to add any kind of cheese to the filling, then really control the amount of salt you're putting inside the filling, because you don't want it to be a very salty snack.
Right, that's true.
So just test that. And also sometimes serving a sweet dip and a savory dip with something salty, it gives your guests both options of how they want it and how they want to pair it. This is a great pairing with a glass of wine, with some Chardonnay, or with like a Corona beer. This is a really great pairing. So if you're having hors d'oeuvres and you're doing cocktails, then this is a really good pairing. It also pairs nicely with Coke and Sprite and all the lemony, citrusy beverages that you could be serving. I'm just going to give this one a flip. The other three are done. This little guy is taking a little while because it has all these pleats. So you want to make sure nothing is raw. And I'm going to remove these from the pan. Right? So even if you shape them and put them in the fridge and then actually fried it on the day of when you're entertaining your guests, that's okay too.
You could do that too. Keep it in the...
Yes. If you want to do this with chicken, you just get minced chicken keema and you do the same thing. And you allow the keema to cook fully and then cool it and then add it into the pockets.
Okay.
Okay, so this is done right over here. I'm just going to set this
Like I
aside.
said, you can make them ahead of time.
Yes, you can shape them ahead of time. You can put it in the fridge. Right?
Not the freezer? You can put in the freezer too.
If you're going to put it in the freezer, then don't put onions in your filling.
Right. Onions.
Like I said, if you're going to put it in the freezer.
Cilantro, yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that. Different shapes.
And then, of course, we have our fabulous dipping sauce right over here.
Let's look at the...
I'm just going to cut it, and I'm going to let it cool for 2 seconds, and then I'll cut it. And then just a little taco seasoning or chaat masala, whatever you want to put, you can put that. Right?
Yeah.
So this is ready to go. This is done. Now I'm going to show you what the popcorn looks like.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Let's look at the popcorn.
Yes, let's look at both the things that we created. Get this out of the way. So here it is. All of the popcorn is here. Very few kernels have escaped the popping.
Yeah, that looks...
I'm just going to hold on to this. My daughter's coming tonight, and her friends are going to be visiting on the weekend, so we'll definitely be using this a lot. You can put butter flavored spray onto this for if you want it really buttery, but it's just good to eat just like this. This is some garlic powder. Just toss it really nicely.
And you know what? Recap what you put in the beginning, because some people came late. They know.
Take a pan, heat it up really well, add a combination of butter and olive oil, and then throw in the corn kernels and keep shaking the pan. Put the lid on it. Do not remove the lid. And after a while, the kernels will start popping and you will have your popcorn ready. Okay? So I will do an on-camera taste test, which is, I think, the best part of this. Hey, Rocky, we just made broccoli cheese bites with a cranberry dipping sauce, and we also made some freshly popped popcorn with taco seasoning. So that's what we made. This is not from a supermarket. Everything is made from scratch. We made it together right here on this show. Okay, so what do you want me to try first? Should I try the popcorn first, or should I try the...
Make the screen straight now. We are seeing you horizontal, like, aise karo. Let's see you tasting both. I want to take
Tasting both. Okay, so let's do a screenshot of this. Whoever wants to do a screenshot, please do a screenshot for me and then DM me after that.
Yeah, I got the
Thank you.
popcorn.
So this is the popcorn. It's nice and crunchy and tasty. Good. It needs butter for sure. I don't need any butter. You can tell from my hips, but A little butter on this would be really good. Also, if you like chocolate popcorn or caramel popcorn, this is a good time to drizzle some chocolate syrup mixed in with some coconut oil, and that's just going to solidify and cling on to the popcorn. So good. Okay, that. And then here we have our little broccoli and cheese bites. You can see how crunchy this is. You hear it?
Yes.
So it's super crunchy. Let's try it. That's the inside.
Go down a little bit. Wow.
So the broccoli still has a little bit of a bite to it. So when you bite into it, it's not mushy. It still has a bite to it. You can taste the corn. You can taste the onions. All of those tastes are coming through. If you want to try it with the dipping sauce, just give it a quick dip of the hot honey. You guys,
I took quite a few pictures, yeah.
this is some good stuff. I'm not kidding. Please, please make it. Please make it. It's so simple. And you can just put it in your air fryer, walk away from it. Please take the time and make it. If someone wants to take a screenshot for me, please do that before all of this disappears. I've done 3 different shapes for you. One is like a portly pouch. One is one is a triangle, and then one I've done is a square. So please consider making it at home. It's just, yes, try it after school. It would be, and then you know what? Tag me. If you make any of these things, tag Veena Ji or tag Queen's Curry Kitchen in your creations. My Instagram is Indian Food Queens. My website is queenscurrykitchen.com. And my Facebook page is Queen's Curry Kitchen. Okay? So these are what we made today. These are our 2 creations. I hope that you're going to give it a try, and I hope you're going to make it for your family for this holiday season. Until we meet next time, have a happy holiday, be safe, and spend time with your loved ones. I will see you really soon in the next one. For all the people who have placed orders on my website for your chai masalas, for the spice blends, and for the spice boxes, which is the masala dabba, all those shipments most of them have gone out yesterday, and the remaining are going to go out today. So if you have not checked out the website, go to the website queenscurrykitchen.com. There is a free chana masala recipe download waiting for you over there. Give it a try, download the recipe, it instantly happens. You can also catch any of my online classes and register to take classes one-on-one on Zoom and learn Indian cooking, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or a advanced level student. I have a class for everybody and everything. If there's something that you want to learn in specific but you don't see it offered in the syllabus that's listed online, definitely send me a DM or a PM and ask me if I can teach you that particular recipe. There's a ton of books on my website that you can download for purchase. They are based on the breads of India, the rice dishes of India, the various spices and how to use them. There's also a book on vegan Indian dishes, and there is a book on the restaurant curry secrets. So all the curries that we make in our restaurant in large batches, and then the dishes that we make out of those base curries, all of that is in a book now for you. The website is queenscurrykitchen.com. I hope you're going to give us a follow and you're going to share this page so other people can also make these yummy, delicious snacks for their family table. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye.